and Mr. Amitabh Chaturvedi, Head Marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for all of them, please. Thank you. Through this press conference, Yakult Danone intends to share a few insights on how probiotics helps to keep the intestine strong and is instrumental in containing disease and improving health. Very importantly, there will be a surprise element, adding a new dimension to Yakult. So, stay tuned. I would now request Mr. Minoru Shimada, Managing Director, Yakult Danone India, to give us an insight about Yakult as a brand and how it is addressing the intestinal problems of consumers in India. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Minoru Shimada, please. Everyone together. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends. मेरा नाम मिनोरू शिमादा है. Thank you. मैं जापानी हूँ and Yakult Danone India MD हूँ. बहुत धन्यवाद once again for your presence today. From now on, let me speak in English only. The product Yakult has been in India since 2008. When probiotics were completely new in India. Hence, our biggest challenge was to educate and enlighten the science behind the probiotics. Today, we have been educating Indian consumers about the importance of the intestine and how probiotics improve the health of intestine. I know in India, people ignored intestine and put priority on heart, lung, or stomach. However, the intestine plays very important role for our health, since about 70% of immunity lies there, and essential nutrients are absorbed through the intestine. Yakult, as a probiotics global leader, has been promoting a healthy intestine leads to a long life, and love your intestine since 70% immunity lies there for more than 80 years in 38 countries and regions. Now, more than 3.5 crore Yakult small bottles are consumed every day for better condition. Fitness icon Shilpa Shetty to unveil our new product.
All right, thank you so much, Shilpa ma'am. Thank you so much, Mr. Shamada. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for being so cooperative. I would Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was our TVC. Thank you so much, Mr. Shamada, for detailing out Yakult Light to media so well. Once again, thanking you. Friends, as I mentioned earlier, we have Dr. Neeja Hajela from Yakult Danone with us today. She's a doctorate and is a well-known microbiologist who has expertise in the probiotic space. May I now request Dr. Hajela to detail out the science behind probiotics and Yakult Light. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand to Dr. Hajela, please.
So Yakult Light is a low sugar version of the original probiotic Yakult. It contains vitamin D, which helps in absorption of calcium, and vitamin E, which is a powerful antioxidant. It delays the process of aging. So we've heard about probiotics. What are really probiotics and why are they so important for us? The concept of probiotics is based on a healthy intestine for a long disease-free life. आपने देखा ही होगा, in ancient times, we used to use enemas for removing the toxins and waste product from the intestine and keeping it clean and healthy. Our grandmothers used to say, सारी बीमारियां पेट से शुरू होती है. But what she really meant was not the pet, not the stomach, but the intestine. So the intestine contains 70%. 70% is a huge number. 70% of the entire body's immunity is found in the intestine. And therefore, it is the largest immune organ. So the intestine also decides whether you will fall sick or whether you will not. And another very interesting fact is the intestine has 100 trillion bacteria. 100 trillion. And if you were to weigh them, they are 2 kilograms in weight. And these bacteria are absolutely essential for digestion of food and absorption of nutrients, and also for building your immunity. So probiotics. Probiotics means for life. These increase the beneficial bacteria and decrease the harmful bacteria. And by doing that, they improve digestion. They help in better absorption of nutrients. They also reduce the risk of digestive disorders like constipation, diarrhea, and irritable bowel syndrome. Probiotics are also very important to build your immunity. And therefore, several studies have suggested that they can reduce the risk of common cold, cough, and allergies. Now coming to Yakult. Yakult is a probiotic fermented milk drink. It was launched in Japan in 1935. The genesis of Yakult goes back to the early 1900s when Japan was a very poor country. And a lot of people, mostly children, they were dying because of diarrhea, dysentery, and cholera. So our founder, Dr. Minoru Shirota, he was a microbiologist, and he believed that a healthy intestine leads to a long life and prevention is better than cure. He's very disturbed about the state of health of people in Japan. So he discovered this unique probiotic which could reach your intestine alive and strengthen the digestive system and build immunity. So he used this strain and made Yakult. It was launched in Japan in 1935, and the launch of Yakult changed the health map of Japan. And in fact, it started an era of functional foods, because at that time, healthcare cost was very, very high. So functional foods came into being, which give you nutrition as well as a health benefit. And there in Japan, you have more than thousands of functional foods used for preventing, for improving digestive disorders, for reducing blood sugar, cholesterol. And Japanese consume it as a part of their daily diet. And probably that's why they have the highest life expectancy in the world. Now, this strain of bacteria is backed by more than 80 years of scientific research, and there are more than 100 human trials which have been done on this Lactobacillus casei shirota in Japan, Europe, Australia, and even in India. In fact, in India, we conducted one of the largest community-based studies on children in the age group of 1 to 5 years, 4,000 children. It was a very difficult study. But what the study showed that was consumption of Yakult for 12 weeks reduced the incidence of diarrhea by 14%. And that's significant for a country like India, where 3 lakh children in this age group are dying because of diarrhea. Yakult's bacteria also has the ability to increase the activity of natural killer cells. Now, these are a part of your immune cells which protect you from viruses and cancer. And therefore, we have several studies and investigations which suggest that Yakult's bacteria could reduce the risk of breast cancer, bladder cancer, and colorectal cancer. This product has received the product approval from the food.
And the fitness icon, Mrs. Shilpa Shetty Kundra, to please detail out her love for Yakult and her conviction about probiotics. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Shilpa Shetty Kundra.
A very good afternoon to everyone present, all the members on the dais, Mr. Shimada-san, Dr. Hajela, Amitabh. It's an absolute pleasure to be associated with a product like Yakult, where fortunately, as an endorser, I don't need to do too much talking. I just play a catalyst in a product that actually does all the talking that it needs to and improves your health. Belonging to or trying to be a catalyst in the health and wellness scenario, I really have come to believe that health has to be, you know, of paramount importance. Unfortunately, in this time and age, everything else seems to take precedence. So when Yakult approached me, I'm a little finicky about the brands I do, and I get into a lot of nitty-gritties and due diligence, and they were more than happy to, you know, comply, and they said, it's a great product. I had already heard of the product. I had been using it as well, but it wasn't that readily available, I felt, in this country. But now they've really upped their sales, and I'm happy that, you know, it's reaching every nook and corner, and people have become aware. But when I started out with Yakult, so my journey began with going to the factory and seeing how they made it. And without any bias, I have to say, not because I'm endorsing this product, and I would say it even if I wasn't endorsing this product, that the amount of love and precision and attention to detail that Yakult gives to every piece that gets out of that factory, it's really unbelievable. I feel happy that there is a product like this. I wondered, you know, it's such a small bottle, how much can it really do? And then they literally showed me that there are random checks in that facility where they take out a bottle, and there are scientists and doctors who actually check whether there's enough strain in that bottle, and there has to be a minimum. There is more, but the minimum number is 6.5 billion. It's unbelievable. Lactobacillus casei strain, Shirota. They're very, very particular about every word, as you can see, just like the product is. So I was really amazed. I also saw, I had the privilege of seeing the researches that have been carried out, and there was one such incident where this child was literally suffering from a very bad intestinal disorder, where the doctors, and this was years ago, and this was in the UK, and it stayed with me, where the doctors had to cut off a major portion of that child's intestine, and they started giving him Yakult, and he actually got better. So from literally deteriorating health to actually getting to better health is something that I value. For me, if a product can do that, and that's what Yakult does, can actually improve your intestinal health. Unfortunately, and it's been repeated, we don't give attention to our gut. We get worried about cholesterol, about cardiac diseases, we have liver problems, but nobody ever talks about gut health. What are you really doing to improve your gut health? it's just one simple step, and it's readily available in our country. And I urge especially the women, you know, because you are the ones who are the homemakers. You are the ones going and shopping for your home, for your children, making sure that this is what is going to be eaten by my family and ingested by my family. You can make this change. I make sure that my son takes a Yakult before he leaves for school. It's a small modification I have made. Not because I endorse the product, because I can actually see the difference it's made. We're constantly on the run, all my photographer friends. I don't know what time you guys must be eating, because I see you at an event in the morning, I'll see you in the night, in the same clothes. I don't even think you guys eat on time. And all of us have very erratic lifestyles. But making sure that you have better gut health improves your immunity, which means that you don't fall sick that often. You know, it means that your body will be better equipped to be able to absorb the nutrients it gives it. So that's what Yakult does. So the importance of a product like that cannot be undermined with just me coming here and saying, oh, I'm very happy to be introducing the new variant Yakult Light. I just feel it just takes away from the whole essence of how important it is to understand the benefits of this beautiful product, and it's there for us. So please try and include it in your lifestyle. And I'm not saying this as a brand endorser, but I'm saying it as someone who has seen what a big difference it's made to my family's health, to my health, and to a lot of people who have been having it for a long time. So, I mean, in the olden days, we'd say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now I would want to say, you know, a Yakult a day gives you better health. So please make complete use of it. And I'm so happy and so proud to be associated with a product where I don't need to lie. I normally don't do any of those products anyway, but I am a little particular, because if I can give it to my family proudly without any fear, that is the product that I'll always be associated with. This is one of those products I feel very happy to be associated with. And thank you so much for having me on board. And as the byline says, love your intestine and trust your gut feeling. Thank you.